Well, good morning, Wyoming wool growers. This is Whit Stewart. Just checking in, saying hello. Thank you, Allison, for the reminder and this option to do it virtually with everything going on here this semester. Just wanted to give everyone a quick update. I hope everyone finds themselves well. I'm encouraged a little bit with some of the market movement here recently, but don't want to jinx it, so I'm knocking on my wooden desk as we speak. Just wanted to give you an update on my end. I wanted to say a huge thank you to those who have worked with us this fall and participated in some really exciting programs that we have cooking for building capacity here at the university and the sheep program specifically. I'm pleased to announce 143 lambs were donated to the Lamb a Year program, and that we've had them on feed for about 3 weeks now, doing some excellent programming with those donated lambs. We developed a class called Introduction to Lamb Feeding, which will extend into the spring as we harvest these lambs to get carcass data back. Right now, we're currently playing with some low-cost diet options for backgrounding these lambs. We had a good variation in lambs, so we're strategically managing those according to their body weights, trying to hit some ideal very late fall, early winter, early spring markets. And so we're pretty excited. I think a couple of things I wanted to remind folks. Again, please know that we are so grateful for these donations, first and foremost. But secondarily, those that were not able to donate, please do not feel guilty about it. I've had several calls. Our intent with this program is to really kind of show not only the university, but also our industry that we have this engagement and that we continue to build capacity here for the sheep program. As mentioned, not only are we going to provide performance data updates on these lambs so that producers know kind of what their genetics are doing, but also the carcass data that comes back. And I'm sure Dr. Crane has mentioned, Allison has mentioned that we are partnering with wool growers this summer to have a great celebration of this and the partnership with wool growers and the sheep herders come by. So stay tuned to that. Also want to give you an update on ram test. We've had record participation in this program as well this year with 140 rams on test. Lots of good genetics, I think, this year coming out of these flocks, and I am excited to see how they grow. You know, always the transition period when everything's commingling this time of the year. Some minor respiratory issues have run through the sheep, but not anything too drastic so far, and we'll continue to stay on top of those management protocols, and are grateful to Callie for helping us with those. Again, kind of shifting back to the wool initiative, you'll recall this summer we launched the Wyoming Wool Initiative. Hopefully you've been able to see some of the outreach that we've been working on. Some behind the scenes updates I wanted to give you. This summer we conducted some traceability work to really give some framework to how we trace our wool through processing systems. Master student Courtney Newman has been working on that with the great participation of Bennett Mountain Meadow Wool, and we're extremely grateful for that partnership and to have a mill here to be able to do some of these research studies. And so we're currently presenting a report with ASI looking at how the AWA program and other traceability programs can be implemented into the American wool industry. And we're pretty excited about that. Relatedly, we partnered with the MBA program, the Masters of Business Administration. The director, Ben Cook, was gracious and put a team together of students that are getting them working on some Wyoming branded wool product and feasibility studies. That study started with the intent of looking at first stage processing, and we've since kind of honed in on their skill set and our team's skill set. So we're going to continue to be doing evaluations, talking with international partners on some wool processing infrastructure, and the potential of looking at more of a regional model, if at all possible. Again, feasibility studies are meant to tell us the hard and fast economics of whether things are viable. I think, unfortunately, we in the U.S. sheep industry, especially in the wool side of things, find ourselves pretty vulnerable with our reliance on one plant that is really important to us in our industry. But we feel it's worthwhile to look at some alternatives. And so as a result of these feasibility studies and processing and marketing of Wyoming wool, we found some great partnerships abroad and are putting together a good piece of information for our industry to move forward, hopefully. We also, you'll recall last year, we purchased a sock machine at Mountain Meadow Wool. and partnered with Mountain Meadow Wool to house it there to do some R&D work, again, to look at how do we add more value to Wyoming's wool clip. Now, this is one sock machine, making probably a little bit heavier boot socks where we're trying to specialize, but again, looking at some alternative marketing structures so that you as producers can be involved in that process. And so we look, Ben just recently got the machine back from North Carolina. We've been up there working with Ben on some designs. His crew is working tirelessly to get it up and running so that we can do some more testing trials with our ski team here on campus and others throughout the state to make the best boot sock we hope out there. Again, I wanted to say thank you for all the blankets that have been purchased so far. We have about 107 left out of 300 that we made. So we're grateful for all of those who have been able to purchase a blanket. Again, it may seem like we're doing a lot of fundraising lately, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I just think it's important that we let you know, and we're transparent and accountable, that these proceeds are reinvested in our state sheep industry. We look forward to partnering with wool growers even more, sponsoring speakers, helping offset some of our educational events in combination with wool growers, in addition to making some investments. And so I think, as you saw this summer, as we get students out in the state and interacting with our awesome producers, I think that's where we're going to build our industry also in the next generation. So all these proceeds contribute to our teaching, research, and extension mission and our true partnership with our sheep industry in the state of Wyoming. I'm furiously talking fast, trying to get ready to go to the American Lamb Sustainability Task Force down in Denver this afternoon and tomorrow. Lamb Board is taking a hard look at their direction and how we define some of these sustainability targets in our industry. I realize that's a bit of a buzzword. I'm just grateful to be able to have a seat at the table. I think sometimes sustainability is framed by those who may not be closely involved in our operations, and that's something that I don't want to see happen necessarily. I think we have a story to tell, but I think we need to be active in telling the truth of our story rather than others dictate our story. And so I'm headed there. I look forward to seeing all of you at, hopefully some of you at the West Central States Wool Growers meeting here next week. I'll be speaking a little bit about market timing and backgrounding strategies, especially in lean years where we find ourselves restricted on our market prices. And so we've been working with our team here to mine some really good historical price data and also take some of the work we've done nutritionally in managing these lambs and have a deeper dive than perhaps what you saw at our ram sale seminar. Also grateful to Dr. Crane and the planning committee for our joint meeting here in December. We are putting together some talking points, not only related to emerging technologies, but also how these EID technologies and digital traceability technologies on a live animal basis are working for people. And so we'll have a good interactive panel discussion there. I'm grateful for Allison covering for me at this meeting, as well as some other extension folks and our speakers, as that will be a meeting I'm not going to be able to make this year due to some prior family commitments. So I hope to see many of you as we go throughout the state this late fall. Again, I'd remind you, my cell phone, if you have it, I believe these are posted on the web, so I'm not going to tell you off the top of my head or right now my cell phone. But if you do have any questions, please call my office, leave me a message. And if you have my cell phone or need it, Allison can get it for you. Lots of questions related to market timing and how we deal with some of the projections into the coming year. I think that is a bit of a crystal ball, but I think with some of the news lately about our Section 32 purchase and other movement in the industry, I think that we are coming out of what looks like a slump. Getting a lot of questions related to nematode iris this time of year. So there's a cool seasonal internal parasite that we've been working with our parasitology lab here, Dr. Bangora on campus. I'd encourage you as you use this fall that you pull some fecal samples and get them to the vet lab. I think most of our broad spectrum internal parasite options will give us good coverage against nematode iris, but for whatever reason, we've seen a lot of replacements or weaned lambs out on pasture be set back this year due to this parasite. And so working with your veterinarians just know that this is kind of an emerging challenge that we've been doing some research with, and I encourage you to take a look at your deworming protocols this fall. I think that's all from my end. Again, I appreciate all your hard work. I'm reminded every time we get out in the state, especially as we picked up lambs for this program this year. You are the boots on the ground. You're the ones that keep these rural communities alive, and that's something that we honor here in the sheep program, and we're grateful for. So hope everyone is well. Look forward to seeing you here before too long.